Hola clase, hoy vamos a aprender de los pronombres de objetos directos, or in English, the direct object pronouns. This is a pretty tricky topic, so I may be speaking some extra English for the explanations. Primero, necesitamos hablar de los objetos directos. Está en el nombre, objeto directo. El objeto de la frase recibe la acción, el verbo, pues el objeto directo recibe la acción directamente. Voy a explicar con ejemplos en un rato. Mira la frase que sigue. Yo leo el libro. Yo es el sujeto, leo es el verbo y el libro es el objeto directo. ¿Sabes que el libro es el objeto directo porque el libro recibe la acción del verbo leer? Para encontrar el objeto directo, pregúntate la siguiente pregunta. En este caso, pregúntate, ¿qué está leyendo el sujeto? El sujeto está leyendo el libro, pues el libro es el objeto directo. Now in English, look at the following sentence. I read the book. I is the subject, read is the verb, and the book is the direct object. You know that the book is the direct object because the book receives the action of the verb, in this case, being read. To find the direct object in the sentence, ask yourself the following question. In this case, ask yourself, what is the subject reading? The subject is reading the book, so the book is the direct object. Ahora hablamos de los pronombres de objetos directos. This is where some of the explanation gets a little complicated, so I'm going to stay in English for a little while. In conversation, saying the direct object over and over again is redundant. Look at the conversation below. Did you read the book? Yes, I read the book. Did the class read the book? Yes, they read the book too. Instead, our conversations sound more like this. Did you read the book? Yes, I read it. Did the class read it? Yes, they read it too. What I'm trying to explain here is that once you have established what you're talking about in the conversation, you don't need to say that thing over and over again. So you can replace it with a pronoun. In this case, it. En español, los pronombres de objetos directos son me, as in they invite me to the party. You, as in she is looking for you. Him, as in I take him to school. Her, as in we hear her on the phone. It, as in he drinks it. Us, as in the employee helps us. And them, as in the teacher watches them. En español, los pronombres de objetos directos son me, como ellos me inviten a la fiesta. Te, como ella está buscándote. Lo, como yo lo llevo a la escuela. La, como nosotras la oímos en el teléfono. Nos, como el empleado nos ayuda. Los, como tú los pierdes. Y las, como la profesora las mira. I put the two tables next to each other so we could look at some differences. In Spanish, they don't have the direct object pronoun it. You guys know that they don't need the direct object pronoun it because every single noun, whether animate or inanimate, has a gender. So it's going to be lo or la. Another difference is that Spanish uses two different pronouns for them, los y las. In English, we don't differentiate between genders for them, just like they in English, whereas in Spanish, they do differentiate like ellos and ellas, so they use los and las. The final and most important difference that you should have noticed is the placement of the direct object pronoun. In English, we put our direct object pronouns directly after the verb. In Spanish, the direct object pronoun actually goes directly in front of the verb, unless you are using the present progressive, in which case the direct object pronoun is attached directly to the end of the participle. Ok, por fin la última cosa. Reemplazar los objetos directos con pronombres de objetos directos. This is actually very similar to the subject pronouns in Spanish. Any masculine singular object, whether human or inanimate, is replaced with lo, just like el. Any feminine singular object, human or inanimate, is replaced with la, just like ella. Any masculine plural object, human or inanimate, is replaced with los, just like ellos. Any feminine plural object, human or inanimate, is replaced with las, just like ellas. Okay, here are my examples. Ella escucha el profesor, se cambia a ella lo escucha. Ellos llevan sus mochilas, se cambia a ellos las llevan. Yo juego muchos deportes, se cambia a yo los juego. Y ellas están completando las tareas, se cambia a ellos están completándolas. One last note about adding the direct object pronoun to the end of the participle in the present progressive tense. When you attach the pronoun to the end of the verb, you need to add an accent mark on the A in ando or the E in iendo. So in my two examples, it was ellas están completándolas y yo estoy buscándote. Okay, we made it. I told you this one was a little tricky. Look through the notes that you just took, because you should have been taking notes, and then answer all those questions on the Google form. Gracias!